Modern businesses spend billions every year constructing pristine, aesthetically flawless digital storefronts. Yet, despite massive design investments, average e-commerce conversion rates remain remarkably low. This happens because we operate under the assumption that in a platform society, a visually stunning online presence is the mandatory baseline for survival. However, the correlation between aesthetic appeal and actual transaction efficiency is increasingly tenuous. To find out what actually triggers a sale, researchers Blazeska, Ristovska, and Gramennikovsky conducted an empirical study in 2022. By surveying 57 small and medium enterprises, the study sought to move past marketing theory and isolate the quantitative drivers of consumer behavior. Most marketing advice focuses on the subjective, art, copy, and branding. But this research shifted the lens toward objective, data-driven utility. The results suggest a shift in perspective. E-commerce efficiency functions less like a graphic design exercise and more like a structural engineering problem. If that's true, then prioritizing visible aesthetics over invisible utility might be the very thing preventing a digital brand from reaching scale. At the center of this architecture is the proprietary website. It is no longer just a digital brochure, it is the primary engine of commerce. This chart shows how surveyed companies define their site's utility. Building customer relationships accounts for 28% and business promotion 34%. But the largest segment, at 38%, is the effectiveness of e-commerce, the ability to process and complete a transaction. To optimize that 38%, we have to look at what specific factors create a positive experience for the visitor. There is a common industry mantra that content is king. The data, however, tells a different story about user priorities. This breaks down visitor satisfaction. Published content at 24% is outweighed by website safety at 26% and ease of retrieval at 31%. Grouped together, these two factors show 57% of user satisfaction is driven by structural utility, finding information, and feeling secure. This highlights the impact of structural friction. For the majority of users, the speed and ease of finding a product is more valuable than the aesthetic quality of the page itself. In this context, the website's primary role is to be a frictionless transaction engine. Any design choice that slows down that retrieval process actively limits the site's potential value. The 26% of users who prioritize safety points to a unique technical requirement. Security is a metric that is invisible to the user until the moment it fails. This creates what we can call the always-on trust mandate. Since physical interaction isn't possible, trust is manufactured through technical reliability and absolute uptime. A single system crash or a sudden security anomaly can instantly dissolve that trust, bringing all digital transactions to a complete halt. This is why 24/7 managed IT services are an operational necessity. They maintain that 26% safety metric, ensuring the infrastructure remains stable outside of standard business hours. Back-end IT management is a direct form of revenue protection. Infrastructure is the foundation of the transaction engine. This prioritization of structure over surface-level art is reflected in the actual design components businesses use. This chart reveals web design priorities. The highest, at 29%, is SEO. Readability to search algorithms takes precedence. Next are purely utilitarian components, web browser compatibility at 27%, and user interface at 25%. Visual graphics rank lowest, at just 19%. For an e-commerce platform, the designer's role is architectural wayfinding. They are building a path to the checkout, not a gallery. To scale, a business must invest heavily in the unseen infrastructure, SEO, UI, and 24/7 security, rather than surface-level aesthetics. This structural engine covers the conversion, but we also have to account for how a business acquires attention, the role of social media. Social media platforms are structurally different from websites. They aren't secure transaction hubs, they are high-velocity outreach engines. This radar chart maps social network advantages. Social media's architectural function is to capture attention quickly, and then route it back to the secure transaction engine of the main website. By combining these findings, we can define a complete architectural model for digital growth. This is the dual-engine architecture. The first engine is the high-velocity social network. Its purpose is reach, speed, and the low-cost acquisition of attention. The second engine is the proprietary website. It is built for structural utility, zero friction, and high security conversion. These two engines are fundamentally different, but they are dependent on each other. Velocity is financially useless if you don't have a secure engine to process the value. Because these environments serve different functions, one for speed and one for security, strict brand consistency acts as the signal that the user is still in a trusted environment. Scaling a business isn't about making your website look like a social media feed. It is about cleanly linking a high-speed discovery network to a highly secure, frictionless transaction engine. Mastering this structural engineering, rather than chasing aesthetic trends, is the data-proven baseline for digital survival and economic growth.